We have a large amount of students and teachers struggling in maths. We have students missing key concepts or staying in the same group all year, no matter their capability in each maths area. Teachers not being confident in their own abilities to know where their students are and where to take them next. I have introduced the problem-solving approach and the use of anticipating results to acknowledge where all children are at in their thinking. Smith and Stein 2011 suggest careful consideration needs to be given when anticipating what strategies students are likely to use to solve the maths tasks, how the teacher would respond to the children's work, which student strategies are likely to be most useful in addressing the maths to be learned. Ideally, this approach would be used with 2 or more teachers working collaboratively. One teacher can be taking the class, and one teacher can be observing students thinking or taking workshops. Together, they can be anticipating results and learning from one another. Bowler, Williams, and Brown 2000 suggest anticipating results will support teachers to pitch work at a more appropriate level for their students. Attard 2017 suggests ability groups have become too convenient and the status quo in a good maths class, rather than them to be benefiting the students' learning needs. Teachers observe, question, and place students' names next to the results they demonstrate. From here, teachers can see clearly what children know and what steps to use to get them to the next learning moment. This encourages group flexibility and the ability for students to learn from their peers. Stakeholders. Robinson 2009 suggests not to try to shift people from one segment to the next because they are stagnatic groups. From my experience, I would agree with Robinson, and in our school it is very obvious who is in each segment. It is only people themselves that can change the segment they are in. Innovators provide support and discuss the ideas publicly. Simon provided support for the idea, where I provided the publicity. Robinson 2009 advises early adopters want to take a strategic leap forward. They make a quick connection between innovation and their needs. My early adopters are either working collaboratively with me in the class next door or in the maths team with me. Early majority. Through all the talking and evidence being provided to them, they find it difficult to resist. The difference is that the early adopters trust and are looking for something new, where the early majorities need to see evidence before they take the leap towards the movement. Late majority. They are all uncomfortable with change and will have lots of criticisms to provide before they take the leap. Laggards will hold out to the bitter end, according to Robinson 2009. The difference is late majorities can eventually be convinced of the change after all the evidence and questions are answered. They require a lot of support, where the laggards may never change their approach. Each segment is needed to make the approach successful. It's the conversations between segments and within segments that spread the success of the approach, according to Robinson 2009. Throughout my lab, I thought I was a transformational leader, but the more I learn about servant leadership, I realize I'm a bit of both, but leaning more towards a servant leader. Through my success with the approach, I now want it to meet the needs of other staff. Stone, Russell, and Patterson, 2004, recommend the greatest goal of a servant leader is meeting the needs of others. Teachers want approaches that are proven to work and are easy to implement. By achieving these needs, I hope to encourage teachers to enjoy maths rather than pushing it to the side. I am trying to make the approach as streamlined as possible, learning from my wonderings and the early adopters' observations. Fallon 2001 believes a transformation isn't possible without messiness. I have created the planning to be tidy and easy. The messy part will be the implementation of the change in the classroom, especially if the environment hasn't been set up for risk-taking. Fallon 2001 encourages the potential for creative breakthroughs. This approach allows both students and teachers to be creative. I've been experimenting with the way children feedback their thinking by using different types of technologies. Children can be creative in the way they solve the problems as long as they can explain their thinking. Francisco 2012 believes transformational leaders can be more flexible in their approach and serve to empower and guide. I don't believe the way I implemented the approach is the only way to do this. However, I do believe that the anticipating results part is a non-negotiable. When I was thinking of the early adopters, they are people I have relationships with. We trust each other, and we want to get better all the time for the benefit of our children. The early adopters are at different teaching levels and management levels in our school. According to Francisco 2012, this allows for experts to emerge at any level in the school. The best part is it's not a top-down approach. Fallon 2001 recommends having a non-linear approach helps with understanding change from all staff. Through watching Breakspear's 2016, I never thought I would be in a place to think about where I was going to take the school next. I'm always wondering how to get better, reflecting on every lesson, every moment, and thinking what can stay the same and what can be made better. Through being a reflective teacher, striving for the best, and asking lots of questions, I've created respect for myself and respect from others. I have held a staff meeting introducing staff to problem solving and anticipating results and the importance of using these together. The early adopters are now using the problem solving approach to inform their teaching for the week, getting their information from the anticipating results. I'm encouraging other staff to have a go at problem solving and anticipating results at least once a week. This approach allows staff to trial and then use the approach as much or as little as possible. Ideally, they are going to use the approach at least once a week. I'm going to have regular check-ins with the early adopters. These can be on their own, in small groups, or around other staff, encouraging other staff to hear the results they are experiencing and the success. I'm going to encourage the early majorities to observe confident staff and see them having success with the approach in the classroom and with their planning. Robinson 2009 suggests if the approach's advantages are realized, then there would be a rapid rate of adoption. I'm going to create time at each team meeting to answer questions and give evidence and plan an opportunity for the whole team to have a go in either a collaborative environment or on their own. Robinson 2009 encourages using simple ideas as they are easier to adopt. By stepping staff through at team level, it will allow for questions to be answered, resources to be created and shared. I'm going to create a resource bank where we can share the maths problems we have had success with and place them in the levels we have used them with. By using the problem-solving and anticipating results approach, I hope to build teachers' confidence to know what they are teaching, provide opportunities for students to achieve success, and be enthusiastic and passionate about mathematics.